What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm excited to be sharing with you XRP analysis and updates because I personally think this coin will change your life. This is another coin that I feel is very similar to what happened with Digibyte, where it's extremely overhated, very retraced, and undervalued at current market price. Before we get started on my analysis with XRP, make sure that you like this video as well as subscribing because as you can see, I'm dedicated to uploading 5 videos weekly just like this one to keep you guys posted and updated in the cryptocurrency markets. Make sure that you share this video with your friends as well so we can get as many people in on the XRP move before it pumps. By the way, you guys, I am going to be running over a little update on the daily confirmed COVID deaths. And the reason this is important to me is because this chart does reflect some interesting things inside of the markets that I want to go over today. So without further ado, let's get straight into the XRP analysis. So if you guys do not know, XRP is one of the oldest cryptos in the whole market. From the peak to the peak low, you actually have a 96% retrace, and that's pretty much pure fear in my view. Everybody got really scared and panic sold their XRP the whole way down, which of course is natural in a bear market for people to be selling their coins. So it's not unexpected, but that's basically what happened from a psychological standpoint. And then we have a corrective wave. This is an ABC down, so this is going to be a Y wave. That is an ABC up, so I would see that probably as an X wave. Then we have a YXZ wave. So this is all ABCs, and Bitcoin actually did a WXYXZ correction as well. You know, the more common correction that we would see in a bear market is just an ABC correction. But this is showing more structure of a WXYXZ. If you're new to Elliott wave though and don't understand complicated corrections, you can actually just take the ABC corrective tool and you could draw it as an ABC and it's not going to harm you at all to count it as an ABC. The subwaves might not match perfectly, but the direction the price is going to go is still the same, meaning that this would be the peak low of the market cycle. So it really doesn't matter. If you don't understand that as a beginner, you don't technically have to. With that being said, I do cover in the Elliott Wave Power Series complicated corrections and things of that nature. So basically the reason that we had this corrective pattern and the reason that we got a correction in the first place was because we made a 3-wave in the market since 2016. So this would have been our 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 5th wave in XRP. And so that is really what brought us up to just under $4 per XRP. I actually tweeted on my Twitter this day when we were at the exact peak of the whole market and said, you guys, just a friendly reminder to take your profits on XRP. And that's just one of the examples of a very nice call that I made around the peak of the XRP cycle. Now, what's interesting to me about XRP is just how many people are bearish on XRP. And if you actually take Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets, a book by, I believe, John Murphy, either way, it's called Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. One of the things it teaches you is volume profiles. When you have rising volume and rising price, it is long-term bullish. When you have falling volume and falling price, it is long-term bullish. And what we actually see in this whole move here, whenever XRP is moving up, we have rising volume. And whenever XRP is moving down, we actually have falling volume. And you can see that very clearly here. There's kind of this capitulation spike right here, which was to be expected. But this overall, for me, is a very bullish volume profile. There actually is a huge downtrending resistance level right here. And in order for us to really moon, we probably need to get above around 26 cents. So 26 cents per XRP. Now, with that being said, this is pretty much a downward pointing channel here that we've been in for a while. So I do expect us to break this channel when the bull market is in full force for XRP. Now, XRP is really taking the spotlight today, you guys. If we go into the smaller time frames, I don't really look at these too often, but if we go into the smaller time frames, we actually have a huge breakout on the 1 hour of major resistance. So this coin is showing a lot of strength. It's been kind of lagging behind the rest of the market as the other ones were breaking out. It was still moving up through the same period of time, but it was lagging behind a little bit. So I kind of think this coin will do very well. XRP should really start to head up towards this resistance level. And that resistance level for you guys is 33 cents. So that's really interesting to see this setup playing out in XRP, especially since the psychology of the market is very, very bearish. Now, one thing that I really, really like is a comparison that my buddy DIY Investing made. And this is my buddy Donovan. He is a long-term friend of mine. I've been friends with him for a long time now. And we've been trading together for a really, really long time, pretty much since 2015, 16. So we've been in these markets together for a long time. He really knows what he's doing when it comes to analysis. And one of my favorite charts, this is a really dope chart, by the way, for anybody that didn't see it yet on his channel. This is a comparison between Tezos and Bitcoin and kind of why we're expecting so much upside in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one on the top and Tezos is the one on the bottom. So that means Tezos is actually leading the price action we're going to see inside of the Bitcoin markets. So my buddy over at DIY Investing shared this amazing chart the other day, and it's actually silver and XRP overlapped. XRP is a black line and silver is the green and red candlesticks in the background. You guys can see that we're at the very last capitulation event in the market before we start trending up for a huge new bullish cycle. So I'm very excited about this comparison, and I really appreciate him sharing this on his Twitter so that everybody can understand just how important it is to be having and owning some XRP right now inside of the markets. So yeah, you guys, I think XRP is setting up for a really, really big breakout here. And overall, the cryptocurrency markets are setting up for a big breakout. You guys already know I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Go check out my video yesterday if you haven't watched it. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of another $50 in Bitcoin if that video reaches 250 likes. So go give it a smash and hit up that like button for me as well. So talking a little bit about COVID-19 deaths, this is a chart of COVID daily 19 deaths, which is why it can go up and down. The chart on TradingView is total deaths that have occurred, which means, you can't take back the past. So the chart is just going to continue going sideways once we stop having deaths of COVID. But what's interesting to me is, all markets paint geometry, and it doesn't matter if you're looking at YouTube analytics, it doesn't matter if you're looking at Bitcoin, and it doesn't matter if you're looking at daily confirmed COVID deaths. They paint geometry. And one of the things I brought up on my Twitter today is actually that the COVID deaths have painted a head and shoulders pattern. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and that's the right shoulder. It actually reminds me a lot of the total cryptocurrency market cap when we were peaking out at the top of the market in 2018. It has a very similar structure. And so for me, this is showing that the daily COVID deaths is going to drop, which means a lot less people are going to be dying on a daily basis. So that's really good for, our economy, for opening things back up, for the movement towards opening back the economy and getting back into the flow of life. A lot of this type of I was talking about this on the podcast with Donovan. A lot of this type of stuff is driven by fear. Fear is a short-term emotion. It passes. Obviously, there is a significance in the amount of people that were affected by this. But if you compare it to things that were, other things that people are affected by, like alcoholism or things like that, you actually find that, it was definitely blown out of proportion to a degree. And in no way am I saying that what's happened to anybody that's lost family members or anything like that. I'm not diminishing that, but I am going to show that there is a lot of fear that gets driven and expanded, and it just becomes delusional. And just in the same way people panic sell the bottom of Bitcoin out of fear and panic buy the top, they start panicking at the top of these cycles. And so the geometry is the same, and this is a head and shoulders pattern. Overall, I expect our daily confirmed deaths to drop. If this head and shoulders pattern continues to play out, I expect it to drop down to 1,300 deaths daily, and we peaked out at around 10,000 deaths. So that's really good for the markets as a whole. That's really good for the economy as a whole. You guys, I'm not going to get too conspiratorial, but every single 4 years, there has been, right before the election year, new different types of viruses that are coming out. And it's just interesting to me how it's always really fearful right before the election. And, overall, I think that this may have been orchestrated. I'm not going to say that it definitely was. I don't know the truth for sure. Nobody does. And anybody that tells you they do is lying. It's all speculation. But this could have been orchestrated to essentially allow them to buy the dip in all of the stock markets and to have an effect on the election season. So that's one thing I'm aware of. But overall, this is definitely dropping in daily deaths. So that's really good for the world. That's really good for anybody that maybe has been affected by this virus. So I just want to bring that up in today's video as well. I don't like to talk about it too much because really my main primary concern is technical analysis of Bitcoin and running over stuff like XRP for you guys. But I'm very excited about XRP. I'm very excited about Bitcoin. I'm still net long on all my positions, and I'm expecting more upside. You guys, if you want to learn all of this stuff in more detail and get the signals that I'm posting, I actually have signals for a lot of different coins right now and really, really nice price targets. I go into detail about where the coins are going, where I'm getting out, where my stops are, what investment trades I'm taking, what swing trades I'm taking, what daily trades I'm taking. And, I've learned a lot of stuff over the past 5 years that I've been doing this, made a lot of mistakes, and bought a lot of different courses, went through video series, read books, and I really consolidated that knowledge and all of the different trading patterns into the absolute best ones. So that's what the VIP is all about. I do run a 20% discount. Click in the description, and I am only accepting people that direct message me or email me either via Discord or via, if you're friends with me on Snapchat, or via email, whatever works for you. Just get a hold of me, and then that way we can work together and I'll approve you. It's an exclusive group, and so that's why I'm handling it that way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's update. And as always, stay profitable out there.